This footage left Neymar fans around the world wondering if his worst nightmare was unfolding before him. Was ex-girlfriend Bruna Marquezine about to walk down the aisle with another man and close the book on their tumultuous relationship for good? Thankfully, for all those onlookers hoping for a reunion, this clip shows Bruna as a bridesmaid and Neymar as a man who is still under her spell. In this video, we reveal what brought them together, what caused them to split 4 times, and whether there is still hope for love's young dream. The first time I saw you, I wanted to be in your arms. There's some conjecture as to when that first meeting took place. Some reports suggest that the pair were introduced at the Carnival in Rio in February 2012. Others say it was October that year when Bruna slid into his DMs to start the conversation. What we do know for certain is that the relationship wasn't immediately amorous. Faced with some stiff competition, Neymar played the long game, and the gentleman card proved the right choice. Given what we know of how his career has played out, you might be expecting that Bruna was the one with the most to gain from coming together, but that's not the case at all. Because by the time they met, the actress had already been illuminating Brazilian screens for over a decade. Her award-winning performance as Saleta in the telenovela Mulheres Apaixonadas had catapulted her to national prominence. That's not to say Neymar was an unknown entity. He'd already scored 100 times for Santos, won the Copa Libertadores, and been named South American Footballer of the Year. Real Madrid's overtures had become so blatant that Santos threatened to report them to FIFA. This was a union of equals, a meeting of 2 young, successful individuals with the world at their feet, and it seemed as though they had every chance of making a go of it. Yes, Spain was calling, but Ney was in no rush. I don't know when I'm leaving for Europe. I'm happy here in Brazil. I have a dream of playing in Europe, but in my opinion, it is still not the right moment. By the time the Carnival of 2013 came around, the pair were lost in a whirlwind romance. Brumar was born. As a couple, they had the potential to be Brazil's answer to Posh and Bex. But, as is often the case, life was about to turn everything on its head. We decided to come to Barcelona. I had a lot of offers, but I followed my heart. These were the words Bruna Marquezine must have been dreading. Her man was leaving for pastures new, and she was faced with a choice: your relationship or your career. After accompanying Ney to his unveiling at the Camp Nou, the pair opted to give long distance a go. The couple lasted until February 2014 before they reached their breaking point. Rumors of his infidelity and a playboy lifestyle had been swirling for some time. Whatever the cause of their breakup, it was anything but amicable. Bruna deleted all evidence of their union from her social channels. We can but speculate on the impact of this separation, but the second half of Neymar's debut season in Spain wasn't smooth sailing. In the months between their split and the final game, he completed 90 league minutes on just 2 occasions. 2014 was, however, a World Cup year. And not just any World Cup, a World Cup in Brazil. Brumar fans around the globe were given something to cheer as the couple reunited on the eve of the tournament. It could be argued this had an immediate effect on the Seleção's talisman as he scored 4 goals en route to the quarterfinals against Colombia. An injury in that same game ruled him out of the competition. Brazil were humiliated by Germany in the next round. While the tournament didn't go to plan, things were looking up for the couple. Bruna had just finished filming the popular and acclaimed M Familia, and Neymar had silenced the doubters who said he couldn't perform on the biggest stage. Reports claimed a marriage proposal was in the offing. A month later, however, it's off again. And this time, it stayed off for 2 years. In that period, Neymar's career goes to the next level. He found the net 39 times in 14-15, won an historic treble, and scored in the Champions League final along the way. He became only the 8th player to win the Copa Libertadores and the UCL, and played a starring role in the MSN's record-breaking 122-goal return. 15-16 sees more of the same. Barcelona won the double, MSN notched a staggering 131 times. If this union started as a meeting of equals, by this stage, Neymar is the bigger pull. And Bruna is unable to resist those forces as the player flies into Rio to captain his nation's efforts in the Olympic Games of 2016. A warm embrace in the immediate afterglow of winning gold shows Brumar fans what they've been missing. The couple are on again, and this time it lasts until the summer of 2017, when an ill-fated holiday to South Africa sends Bruna running for the hills. Rumor suggests she is uncomfortable with how close he is to his family. For reference, Neymar has tattoos of his mom, sister, and father. Fans were left with more questions than answers as Bruna stayed tight-lipped over their parting. "I wasn't asked to marry him, and it wasn't because of his haircut." None of the websites got the right reason, because, in fact, there doesn't need to be a reason. However, and as we've already seen, the pair can't seem to keep their word. They reunite for one final time just months later, shortly after PSG had made him the most expensive footballer in the history of the game. It lasts for a few months before the World Cup of 2018, and to anyone keen to know if there's a future, those dates may prove significant. These two stars have scores of fans who would love to see them back together. Question is, could that realistically happen? The answer may lie in the external pressures exerted on the pair. Take a closer look at Neymar's move to Barcelona, for example. We've already heard that he was in no rush to leave his homeland. He could easily have stayed at Santos until the World Cup. Doing so may even have cemented his standing as a true Brazilian legend. The decision to leave, however, was not his to make. Because in 2012, Neymar was declared bankrupt and his father was placed in control of his affairs. The fact that Neymar Sr. received a $40 million kickback from the transfer suggests he was the driving force. Who knows what the future held for Brumar if they'd had more time to lay solid foundations? I dream of being a mother. Since I was young, I was that child who said she wanted to have children, and I have the feeling I will be a young mother. I need to be in a relationship for this. Maybe not a marriage, but a stable relationship. Those keen to see the pair back together might also draw hope from the timing of their reunions. The fact that they recoupled on the eve of the two biggest sporting events in the world, both of which were held on Brazilian soil in 2014 and 2016, may be telling. It does not suggest, though, that those actions were driven solely by love. A cynic might say this was nothing more than a publicity stunt by an actress trying to raise her profile. No person on the planet could have done that better than Neymar. Their 2017 reunion also came shortly after he had made front-page news with his record-breaking transfer to Paris. It lasted until the World Cup in 2018 had been completed. There have also been rumors that politics drove a wedge between them. Neymar has come out in support of President Bolsonaro, whereas Bruna's allegiances lie on the left of the political spectrum. Bruna dismissed this as gossip, so it's unlikely that it would stop them coming together for a final time. Judging by the way Neymar looks longingly from afar in that now famous wedding video, it would appear he still holds a candle for his ex. His awkward behavior suggests a man who has lost control of his emotions, and you get the feeling he wants nothing more than to run to her. The fact that his ambitions now align with hers could mean there is yet one more chapter in this gripping love story. I'm almost 30, and I have a good career, but on a personal level, I want to have 2 more kids to give my son David some brothers. If he's single when Qatar 2022 comes around, and PSG finally succeeds with their UCL ambitions, it's not unthinkable that Brumar could be reunited in Brazil to start the family that keeps them together. All this talk of how players balance love with the trappings of fame and the demands of elite sports got you hungry for more? Check out this video on how Messi seduced his childhood sweetheart, Antonella Rocuzzo, and watch how La Pulga handled the distance between Barcelona and South America.